CDW Canada's 2021 security study found that average number of attacks per Canadian organization has decreased significantly compared with 2020, while the cost of attacks has increased. The study results shows an average of 419 attacks per organization per year, down from 514 in 2020. But the amount spent by Canadian organizations addressing cyber attacks rose per organization per over year. We were joined by Noor Bains, Principal Field Solutions Architect at CDW Canada. Noor is passionate about helping organizations improve their security posture and programs. Noor's background ranges from working in different environments such as Security Operations Center, Security Advisor, leading implementation projects as a professional services engineer, and leading technical sales discussions as a security solutions architect. In this podcast, Noor discussed the current state of cybersecurity for small businesses in Canada, the misconceptions that small businesses have about cyber attacks, and the most important aspect of developing a security plan for a business. Hi, Noor. On behalf of Canadian SME, I'd like to welcome you to our Small Business Podcast. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on the podcast today.
Very well. I'm very pleased to have you with us this afternoon. Now, Noor, what is the current state of cybersecurity for small businesses in Canada? In today's podcast, we'll focus on this very question. I know your background in cybersecurity positions you as a trusted security advisor for CDW Canada customers, and you're quite passionate about helping organizations improve their security postures and programs. And that brings me back to my first question, that CDW conducted a security study in 2021. Can you share your thoughts on findings? Do you believe that the study's findings accurately reflect the current state of cybersecurity?
So we have been doing security study for the past 7 years. There's the one which we recently released in 2022 as well. But from what we see in the security study, the pain points that organizations are facing to improve their security posture, as well as the number of attacks being faced, irrespective of the industry vertical and the size of the organization, are very similar. And as a field essay, when I go on customer calls and trying to understand how to improve our organization is trying to improve their security posture, it correlates from the data what we see in the reports that we are publishing, right? So it's very relevant to the current state of cybersecurity.
Right. And many small businesses have misconceptions about cyber attacks because they don't understand the risks and their digital footprint. Now, Noor, what are the most common misconceptions that small businesses have about cyber attacks?
Some of the common misconceptions I see in the industry, and especially for the small businesses, is the question is, why would someone attack us, right? Why not just attack an enterprise? And what it results in failing to prepare for a potential attack. If you're not prepared for a potential attack, the chances of a attack affecting you is much more than an organization which is prepared. And this is where the cyber resilience comes into the picture, right? From the security study, we have seen is most organizations will be attacked. If you're prepared, it helps you to understand the visibility to detect, as well as to be able to recover from that attack. And for small businesses, they are failing to achieve that because of one of the misconceptions: we won't be attacked.
Mm-hmm. And one of the most stressful things that can happen to a business is being cyber attacked. Now, small businesses tell us that they've been victims, so we know it's just not large corporations who get targeted, it's them too. Noor, how can small businesses tell if they've been victim of a cyber attack, and what kind of damages can a small business suffer due to a cyber attack?
So there are a number of ways to detect for small businesses if they have been affected by a breach or if they have been breached. The main point is visibility, right? For example, we have a SIM as a service where we have 24/7 SOC analysts providing that visibility if there's a potential indicator of compromise, as well as forensic analysis that can be done both from proactive and reactive nature, where the root cause analysis is trying to figure out, right, if a potential attack has been successful or if it wasn't. Also, this is relevant both for small businesses and for enterprise customers as well. When we have an attack, the main thing that happens is that the consumer trust is lost. The trust of their potential customers is lost. And this results in a monetary value loss as well. It is much difficult for smaller businesses to recover after attack due to the same reason of losing that trust, right? Not being able to do enough after attack, right? But not having those enough protections.
You mentioned ransomware, and the threat of ransomware has been a major issue for large businesses and small. Noor, what are your thoughts on ransomware and the types of businesses it targets? Why do you think large businesses can recover from ransomware attacks more than small businesses?
Ransomware attacks have been on the rampant, and they are not really affecting, for example, only small businesses or enterprise customers. They affect every customer for every business vertical as well. One of the reasons smaller businesses it's affected more is because they don't have the people, process, and technology already set up to be able to detect and respond to that attack. Not having those subject matter experts internally, not having those processes built in, not having those technologies already deployed. For example, being able to recover, having those data backups, right, encrypting data, which results in small businesses recovery much harder from a ransomware attack than a typical enterprise customer because they already have those people, process, technology built in.
Absolutely. And cyber attacks are an increasingly common occurrence that can have a huge impact on small businesses. But the good news is that there may be things that you could do to avoid getting hacked or exploited by hackers. Noor, what is the most important aspect of developing a security plan for a business? And what are your thoughts on partnering with an organization like CDW to develop a security plan?
So most important aspect is for organization when they're developing their security posture is really understanding what their crown jewels are, how to protect those, and what the potential implications are if those are breached. Right from there on, building that. What we can do at CDW is really help customers by understanding their use cases, their industry verticals, their budget, right? What they're working with to achieve when, for example, they have 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan to be able to achieve that. We also partner with industry leading cybersecurity providers such as Sophos to implement, according to best practices, endpoint solutions, as well as perimeter security solutions such as next generation firewalls.
Right. And with the number of cyber attacks on small businesses reaching all-time highs, it is more important than ever for these companies to take steps towards securing their networks. Noor, on a final note, what advice do you have for organizations looking to improve their cybersecurity posture?
For this, I'll refer to the Canadian Center for Cybersecurity. They have listed some of the controls to protect for small businesses and medium businesses as well. Now, each of these controls is very relevant to their use cases, right? But just mentioning some of these, for example, employee training. Employee training is very crucial. Being able to have those user employee training for organizations and making sure that their users are able to detect what a potential phishing email is, right? That really helps to protect from potential breach. Making sure that devices are configured properly. And this is not only the devices, the security devices, but any devices in the environment. Being able to patch devices in the environment. Securing the mobile devices. Again, user training, for example, if they're high profile employees that travel a lot, training them on shoulder surfing if they're on the airport, as an example, if they are editing or viewing sensitive information, right? Making sure that applications and websites are secured properly from layer 7 attacks by implementing next generation firewalls, WAF technologies as well, and backing up data, encrypting the data as well. I did mention the backups as well before, but it's really crucial, and they're the first line of defense to be able to recover from a ransomware attack. And perimeter security, being able to make sure that next generation firewalls or other tools are developed to be able to protect your data centers or your headquarters, etc.
For sure. And the main takeaway from this misconception is that you need more than just an attack computer system for your company's data. You also require proper training on what steps must be taken when faced with one of that everything doesn't fall apart in chaos. Noor, thank you so much for being so insightful and sharing your knowledge on how small businesses can protect themselves from cybersecurity threats. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mate.
It was great to have Noor on the podcast. His background in cybersecurity positions him as a trusted advisor for CDW Canada customers, who can rely upon his years of experience and knowledge when it comes time to make decisions about their computerized security. We hope you enjoyed it. Once again, we would like to thank our exclusive banking partner, RBC, and our exclusive shipping partner, UPS, for supporting this initiative. Please do share the podcast and feel free to check out the other episodes. Also, do not forget to subscribe to the Canadian SME Small Business Magazine to stay up to date on all our upcoming events and get the top business insights from industry leaders.